what we've been through. I miss you, and you can't lie, you miss me too. If I roll through, but you...
Y'all remember when Mary J. Blige said that Aaliyah's death was a spiritual? So I've been thinking a lot about it, and everything that's just very obvious with the situation, and I just really want to dig deep into what she meant by spiritual. And I also found a good representation, somebody else's point of view on spiritual murder, and I want to read it to you guys today. So without further more to say, like, comment, and subscribe, turn on your bell post notifications so that you'll be notified every time I drop a video. Let's get into today's video now. You know what? Let's just get into today's video. So I took one little piece from the meaning of spiritual murder, and I took it because it stood out to me the most, and it definitely represented what I feel went on with Aaliyah and her death. It basically just said at the end of the meaning that it basically only happens to people who have dreams and desires to exist. And when I read this, I'm just like, yeah, this definitely is the one. This is the little part of the meaning that I need to share, because I believe Aaliyah believed strongly in life. She believed in an existence. She believed in a higher power. And that higher power also believed in life. Everything she represented or put in her music videos represented life. We all know in that industry, choosing life, pure life, innocent life, is not something they're willing to negotiate. I think it was a respectful thing. You know, with Aaliyah, she respectfully chose life over evil, over life is life, and is the state of being. And I believe that 90% of these celebrities in the industry are in the state of being. They're lifeless, soulless. They don't live for anything but evil. And Aaliyah, she didn't get into the business to be at the top of the game. And when I say game, I mean the Illuminati. And that's what they refer it as, the game. Aaliyah wanted to uplift others, help others reach the top along with herself. She was competing for herself to be the best. And she was just doing something she sincerely loved. Unlike other celebrities just want to fight to get to the top, to be that king, to be that queen of the industry, and they would rather give up an innocent life that they can have over losing their souls and their life to evil, to demonic entities, demons, evil forces, alter egos. And Aaliyah wasn't having it at all. Let's start off with her Try Again video. Now, I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed this, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. But if you look at the music video Try Again, for one, she has that Egyptian image going on again, which is a very strong meaning. Two, she's dancing in front of a moon-like object. And when you look up the meaning of moon, moon just means life, creation, emotion, mood, and mind. Very strong, right? Aaliyah chose life. It's not a coincidence that she was dancing in front of a moon object in her Try Again video. And that is one of her videos she did around her last months, weeks of living, days, whatever. In that very moment at the end, I believe that her final answer to the spiritual world was life. There's different spiritualities. You know, once you choose the dark spiritual side of the industry you no longer own your mind. No longer have a mood. You no longer have emotions. Nothing matters to you. Just evil. Moon is a symbolism of life. And Aaliyah knew that. She was very smart. Let's talk about the Egyptian symbolism. We love this one. I actually want to get a tattoo of the Egyptian Ankh on my wrist. Not only for Aaliyah, but for what she has shown me what it represents, which is life. Men and women, a woman's womb, a woman creating life or being able to. It has a lot of meanings to it, and it would definitely be meaningful to get. We love everything Aaliyah represented throughout her career, whether people noticed it at the time or not. It was very powerful. She was a very powerful being, and it's funny how her mom named her Aaliyah, the highest, most exalted one, the best. She definitely really represented her name, and I think she wanted to keep her name at the height, the meaning, and she turned her name into a being, a human, and she represented her name to the fullest. Especially if you've been watching my channel for a long time, and you've heard me talk about the Egyptian Ankh, I'm pretty sure you know what it symbolizes, because I've spoke on it multiple times. Not only because, you know, I'm intrigued and interested in the Egyptian Ankh and Egyptian people, but because Aaliyah represented this symbol. The Egyptian symbolism is the key of life. It represents life. The symbolism, you know, to represent life is the Egyptian Ankh. And in 2001, Aaliyah and Damon Dash went out and got a matching tattoo of the famous Egyptian Ankh. Let's go back to where Mary J. Blige said that was a spiritual. You know what? Aaliyah chose life, and I think that's what she meant by spiritual. Whoever it was, well, I think it was Jay-Z, and you know, it would put Jay-Z in a place to want to spiritually Aaliyah, because not only did she choose Damon, she also went public with him. She got matching tattoos with him that stood for life. And I believe that they chose a more powerful way. Jay-Z had other plans, and I don't think Jay-Z necessarily cared about life as much as it seemed when it came to him and Aaliyah. But Damon just had an Egyptian Ankh on his arm. It was huge. And Aaliyah had got her Egyptian Ankh tattoo on her wrist, and it was the infamous, you know, they both chose life. And not only did they choose life, they chose life together. Jay-Z, personally, I feel like he chose the industry. He chose evil. And look where he is today. He's allegedly a part of the Freemasons. His wife is, or was, very demonic. I believe she is still a demonic force in her own right. I've heard very many stories that she is a witch and she does witchcraft. And did you guys just hear about her childhood home burning down? When I heard that, yeah, I knew something demonic is stirring up with these people. But Jay-Z chose the industry, the evil part of it, and Aaliyah did not want to just get with Jay-Z to knock everybody down and climb to the top. Aaliyah was not that type of person. She was pure, she was innocent, hence to why she always wore white. She was a very generous person. She helped others get to their dreams as well. Aaliyah wasn't the type to knock someone down to get to where she needed to be. As you can see today, that is exactly what Jay-Z and Beyonce does, and they don't care. They have no emotions, no feelings, no mood, no mind. They don't have life. They don't have a soul. That's what I think Mary J. Blige was talking about. Her people wasn't her people, and what she meant by that was not her family or her parents, is what I mean by her family, her brother, but her people, her friends, her closest friends. Jay-Z, Barry Hankerson, her uncle, all the people who bailed on her, all the people who weren't talking to her, those people. And a lot of people wanted Aaliyah to choose evil. They wanted her to stay on the path of making music, to just achieve that status in the industry. A lot of people wanted that. I believe Timbaland wanted that. Missy wanted that. And they were nothing without Aaliyah. I mean, they did do good after Aaliyah's, but, you know, they were going through trouble, especially with Black Ground Records. And they were, Timbaland was suing Black Ground Records. Aaliyah chose life, and so did Damon. And for that, she was over her beliefs in life, in higher beings, gods. Aaliyah believed in a higher force. She had nothing but Egyptian pieces all around her apartment. Aaliyah believed in life, on the camera and behind the camera. No one ever saw what her apartment looked like with her decor, but she let it be known that she had lots of Egyptian decor around her house, around her home. She got an Egyptian ankh on her wrist. Even her back tattoo looked like it had meaning. If you know what that stands for, definitely let me know. She also had an A on her wrist, and I believe she chose herself. At the end of the day, life is all that matters. Yourself, choosing you, putting yourself first before evil. And Aaliyah's tattoos definitely had meaning, and she inspires me to get meaningful tattoos. Aaliyah inspired me to represent life, to choose life, and not evil. You could see the difference between Damon and Jay-Z. Damon was also living life, just like Aaliyah. They weren't too uptight about reaching the top. And Queen of the Damned, she was an Egyptian goddess. And she was the queen of all vampires, basically the queen of the industry. She was the princess of R&B, and then she became the queen of pop. That's what it was. I couldn't remember what it was, but she became the queen of pop, the queen. And it's funny how she played a queen in a movie. She was the queen. She was on top of the industry, and they just wanted her to choose a lifeless career, a lifeless choice in the industry. You see how she was very evil in Queen of the Damned? That's how they wanted her to be. She was the strongest vampire, the mother of all vampires. That's how they wanted Aaliyah to be in the industry. And Aaliyah chose life. She chose purity. She chose innocence. Hence to her last music video, she had on all white. It's not just a coincidence. I'm so glad that Aaliyah knew her religions, her beliefs, and she stood by them no matter what was going on in the industry, who was doing what, who was trying to knock her down. She kept her beliefs close to her heart, which was life. And Damon Dash was on board with her. I want to get into the person that I found on the internet's point of view on spiritual murder, because everything that he said literally sounds like the situation with Aaliyah, Jay-Z, and the whole 9 yards. So let's get into that comment. I find it very hard to find information on spiritual murder on the internet, but when I saw this, yeah, it just says forcing them out or bribing them. When you are forced out of a hive that you have attached to, you don't really know how to maneuver without that support. Therefore, through the devastations of rejection, you can kill someone spiritually. Now, with just this, Jay-Z was rejected by Aaliyah, wasn't he? She let him in. They were hanging out a lot. He got comfortable, and he felt like he had a chance with the one he was in love with. And to out of nowhere be rejected, would make him lose all respect for her after everything he grew hanging out with her. Everything they built, the bond, the love, the friendship, everything. It also says, bribing someone to join the hive and then being connected to the hive makes one dead spiritually. You no longer have your own mind. However, a righteous person cannot be spiritually, as they are protected in multiple realms, and anyone trying to kill that person's spirit will see a powerful backfire regardless of when. Now, I feel like Jay-Z and Beyonce are finna be put under the bus, especially Jay-Z, because I don't think Beyonce had anything to do with it. I just think she heard through the grapevine. But Jay-Z, a lot has been coming out. People are throwing him under the bus, showing receipts, especially Jaguar Wright. She is throwing Jay-Z under the bus. And his time is coming to an end. A lot of people's time are coming to the end. Have you guys been paying attention to all these stories coming out on sexual assault on all these celebrities and how they're being accused and sued? They're all being thrown under the bus. Why? I don't know. I think it's a spiritual awakening. In this point in time, in this realm, a lot of stuff is going to be revealed from everyone. And that last part of that paragraph said it all, because I said it. I said Aaliyah, she cannot rest right now. She will not until people know the truth. And after I said that, it came out that she was and put on that plane. It came out about all that stuff that he did to her. It all came out. The other victims came out, which made it spread even faster through the headlines. Not only will Aaliyah's story come out against Jay-Z and everyone who has something to do with her, but these other celebrities that have been getting over on people and doing people dirty, their stories are going to come out. My phone is having a major malfunction, so I don't even remember what I was saying. But I hope that more information comes out about Aaliyah's death, because she did not deserve that. She was young. She was only 22, and when you really think about that, she was basically a baby. It's going to be more stuff, and this was the best someone's put it. And when I was reading this, I'm like, yeah, it said, therefore, through devastations of rejection, you can kill someone spiritually. She chose a more high, a more powerful belief, not only with the man, but with faith, like her beliefs, everything she stood for, everything she believed in life. And not only did she move on with Jay-Z's friend, his friend also believed in what she believed in. He got the same matching tattoo as her. So therefore, he believed in life. And together, they were going to be very strong. But unfortunately, it looks like evil always beats life, especially in that industry, because there's more evil than good. So there's going to be more evil going against the innocents. You know, they could have took Damon out too, but to make him suffer, they took his loved one, his girlfriend, and left him alone and broke. It also said, when you are forced out of a hive that you have attached to, he attached to Aaliyah and her love. You know, they were hanging out. I'm pretty sure they were staying nights together, partying together, just doing everything, going out to eat together. Her and Jay-Z were hanging out a lot, a very lot, to the point where they started being seen out at parties. She would show up to parties with him. They would pull up together. He was attached. I don't think she was as attached to him, but he connected to this hive that he became attached to. It also said, you don't really know how to maneuver without that support. So after she left and rejected him, he didn't know how to go about the situation. His friends were laughing at him. His best friend did some snake stuff to him by taking his girl. And Damon says that he didn't know Jay-Z had a thing for Aaliyah. He knew. He knew they were hanging out. They were best friends. How could you not know that about your best friend? He didn't know how to maneuver without Aaliyah anymore. He was that guy with Aaliyah. Like, they were showing up to parties together. He was that dude. He thought he was that dude with Aaliyah. He didn't know how to go about it. So, you know, after what he was close to, he had gotten comfortable with, through the devastations of rejection, you can kill someone spiritually. That was a spiritual warrior. Mary J. Blige. Her people wasn't her people. Like, it's just one full circle. Like, I think basically we done solved everything out. We have the storyline in the palm of our hands. At this point, really, I just think that it needs some verification. You know, someone to just come out and just say what we already figured out. And say that it's all facts. Jay-Z spiritually Aaliyah because she chose life, she chose higher, she didn't choose evil. And in her We Need a Resolution, she was dancing with some pillars. The pillars came down and revealed her faith, which was a dark sky. I also want to get into the meaning of a dragon. It can also mean good, but it can also mean evil as well. She had on a shirt with a dragon on it. But it depends on how you look at it. One more last thing. In her last video just makes me so sad. I can't watch any videos on Aaliyah, especially if it's like just talking about what happened, her last moments, the altercation that allegedly went on. I find it hard. I see a lot of videos, a lot of good-looking videos, and I'm just like, my heart just falls into a deep space when I watch videos about Aaliyah. I just can't. But during her last video, her last song, in the video, another way you can tell she chose life, she chose, in a sense, she chose God, is because she showed herself in the heavens above. And the heavens above is above us. And it is said that the heavens above is protected by water. Aaliyah was in water. And she went up to the sun like a pure soul would. And it really makes me sad to my stomach. Like, I try not to think about the devastations surrounding her death. I just try to look at her happy moments. I like to look at her pictures with her and Damon now that I feel he sincerely didn't have anything to do with it. I think he knew. He could have warned her and stopped her. But Aaliyah looked sincerely happy with him, and that's all that matters. As long as she was happy with everything that she had did or was doing, I'm happy with. So I like to look at pictures of Aaliyah and Damon together now. At first I'm just like, why is people still posting them together? But when you look at the bigger picture, it really was a spiritual thing. And I believe she was at peace. She chose life, and the higher ups, the gods, I'm pretty sure they appreciated her, or appreciate her for that. And she was definitely one of their angels. She teaches me a lot. But that pretty much wraps it up for this video. You guys let me know what you think about spiritual. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Stay crazy.
Do you remember that one night when we fell in love? What we had felt so right, 'cause we had trust. Now we're drowning in our lives. I know we're broken up. You know the feelings deep inside. So what's you, what we've been through?